OPB asks, I got a question. Not a fan of hazies, but ever make a hazy lager worth doing? Any tips? OPB, first of all, I would love to see what you don't like about hazies. I'm not saying that you're wrong. Everybody has different reasons. So tell me why you don't like hazies, because that's a completely valid viewpoint. Not a fan of hazies, but ever made a hazy lager. So I'm assuming that you're talking about something that will feature, juicy aromatics. I believe that's the direction you're going, because you're putting those two styles together. I've not done that. What I will say is there are probably certain lager strains that are more conducive to being haze positive. And I believe if you look at the Omega Yeast website, they give that as a metric. I think that there could be a case for it. You might want to look into kind of what people are talking about when they start talking about doing these. They're not IPLs. Some people are gonna, be mad that I'm talking like these things are things, but I think sometimes we need to be a little less dogmatic about that stuff. I think when people are making like these hot IPAs or whatever the hell they're called, is that what they're called? Cold IPAs or whatever, fermenting, IPA and then going dry and lean and clear with them. I think there might be a path there using different lager strains potentially at higher temperatures. Might be interesting if you do use a strain that is conducive to helping to facilitate haze in the finished beer. Again, you might be able to find that reference point on the Omega site when you start jumping into the spec sheets for those beers. I think it's always worthwhile. You might be able to make those beers clear, but then again, I think we're just talking about like cold IPA or whatnot. I say give it a shot, specifically looking for strains that might be a little bit more expressive. I know that a lot of times when we think lager, we think clean, clean, clean. But I've been listening to some podcasts lately where people will talk about some of like the 10-degree beers. It's not just meant to be as clean as possible. Lagers can have character. Yeah, apply some different principles. Take a hazy build and start looking at it with different lager strains at different temperatures. Start checking things out. If you do have the ability to do a pilot system or small batches, cut some stuff off into smaller vessels and try the same work with different approaches. I think there's nothing wrong with it, man. And I think it's a good way to figure out what you're playing with. OPB, I love it. Run with it. And if you do end up checking that stuff out, let me know how it goes. I'm interested.